right, my next guest will be making his UFC debut on August the 21st against Jesse Strader. And of course, it is Mana Martinez back on the show. Mana, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very good, Ryan.
And you got a big day today. Today is it's Saturday. It's UFC 265. The fights are in Houston, Texas, and that happens to be where you live. So I assume you'll be heading down there tonight. Tell me, what's the whole festivities going to look like? And I assume you'll be going with your boy Adrian Yanez.
Yes, yeah. Our manager was able to hook us up with some tickets, so we'll definitely be heading there. I'm not sure if we'll be going together at the same time, but I'm sure we'll cross paths and then eventually hanging out, possibly watching the fights together. So super excited, and hopefully get to see Derek bring home that belt, man. That'd be amazing to see live.
Yeah, I was looking at the odds earlier today, and I cannot believe how significant of an underdog he is for a guy that has as much power as Derek Lewis does. Does that seem a little bizarre to you?
It does, actually. And with the last opponent he fought, I can't remember his name. He was a big underdog like that, close to 3-1, and I think the line is at 3-1 as well right now. And he said it best himself. He's got 25 minutes in there with Gane, Gain, whatever, and all he needs to do is hit him one time in those 25 minutes, and the fight's over. And he's proven that time and time again with whoever he's fought. So I have a very good amount of faith in him, and hopefully within those 25 minutes he'll be able to land the shot that's needed and put him away.
Do you have a pretty good relationship with him? Is that someone that you see on a regular basis?
So I've crossed paths with him quite a few times. Of course, in the regional promotions, he's been, very, very supportive of us local fighters. Unfortunately, I have fought in guys from his gym, so he'll always come up to me after the fight, man, why you knock out my boy like that? Or, or say something like that. You know how outspoken or, very blunt Derek is. So, yeah, and actually after this last fight with the not contender series, excuse me, with the Dana White looking for a fight, he was sitting at the table with Dana, and, he told me, he said, I told Dana to look out for you. He said, that boy is something serious, and he's probably going to be the one that you have to sign. So he was looking out for me, and big kudos to him, and I appreciate it a lot. So I would say we got a pretty good relationship, I guess you could say.
No doubt. Is there any other fights on this card that you're really looking forward to? Obviously, you got the former champion Jose Aldo taking on Munoz there in the co-main, but is there one other fight that might be flying under the radar that you're really excited about?
I'm excited for all of them. Usually when it's here at the house watching it on TV, one will stick out to me, but for these, there's so many 135 fights, and just so many good fights, and it's in my hometown, so they're all exciting to me. I can't pick one. Maybe Vicente Luque. He's been on a little bit of a hot streak, so I'm excited to see how he's gonna do against Chiesa, and I know Chiesa's no slouch, so that'll be a fun matchup. So that fight probably sticks out to me the most as well.
I'm glad you said that. Me too. That's the one that I'm really looking forward to. I feel like that really could be a sneaky fight of the night. Well, congratulations, man, on signing with the UFC. I know the last time we spoke, you felt like you were right around the corner from getting a contract, so I'm very happy that you're here now. How does it feel to know that you're just a couple short weeks away from making your UFC debut, and you're going to these fights tonight, in your hometown? I assume you're probably going to get a lot of love, man.
We'll see if I get a lot of love. I don't expect any, I've always said, I'm a very humble guy. I'm not going to walk around with my chest high and I'm a UFC fighter. No, my name will eventually be known. But for now, I know I'm still a little fish among the big sharks, and especially the Shark Tank of a division that I'm in. But eventually, again, like I said, I will be known. But it's exciting. I'm super happy because I've been to many events in the past, and I haven't been a part of the UFC roster. This will be my first one officially part of the UFC roster, and it's going to be kind of crazy because I can say, hey, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be in that octagon. When back then, I was like, man, I don't know when my time's coming. I just got to keep grinding. But it's a dream come true, to say the least, as cliche as it sounds. And I'm super excited. I'm super stoked, and it's a banger of a card, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll be watching them from home myself tonight, but can't wait to watch all of the fights here. Now, the last time we did speak was prior to your rematch with Casey Jones, and that was a round one KO via punches. And I want to make sure I get this right. It was 2 months after that, where it was the Dana White looking for a fight in your hometown. You finish Jose Johnson, and then boom, shortly thereafter, you're getting the contract here. Can you just kind of run me through, I guess, what life has been for you like since? Was it just jumping right back into camp and just getting ready for a fight? Because I assume you didn't have this lined up immediately after you signed.
So I told Dana right then and there, as soon as he told me, "Welcome back to the UFC, kid," I told him, anybody who drops out, Dana, any short notice fight, I'm your guy. I'm ready to go. I just handled and did what I had to do in 30 seconds. I'm injury free. I'm in high spirits. I'm in high hopes. So I'm ready to go. And then, sure enough, a week or two later, my manager texts me, rings me, and we got this fight lined up for August 21st. And I said, let's do it. I'm game. If something still happens to drop out or a fight falls through leading up to this date, put me in there. I'll be ready as well. I was crossing my fingers and hoping maybe I could sneak on this Houston card if somebody unfortunately did fall out due to an injury or test positive. Didn't quite happen, but hey, I get my shot in a couple weeks, so I'll wait my turn.
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask too. I got to imagine you probably were hoping that you would get on this card, so that had to have been a little disappointing, right?
A little bit, somewhat, yeah. But I mainly more so feel for Adrian. I know he's been wanting to, and he's had stellar performances as well. And he hasn't quite gotten to fight in his hometown, but I know the stars will align sooner or later, and either of us will be able to fight here and put on for our city, or who knows, both of us together on the same card. And man, that'd be awesome and amazing.
Yeah, who knows? That could be something right around the corner. You never know. You and Adrian on the same card in Houston would be fantastic. I wanted to ask you too about the game plan going in against Jose Johnson. And did that feel almost like a second crack at Contender Series? Because you both fought there before, and here you are on looking for a fight, with Dana White cage side. I imagine the hype and the energy must have been very similar.
It definitely was, and I'm very thankful and blessed that it was in front of my hometown in Houston with all my friends and family. But it was, yeah, it was a second chance and a great opportunity for both of us. We both stepped up and put our records on the line, and went out there and tried to show our skill set as best as we could. I was obviously the superior fighter that night, and no shots to Jose. He's a great fighter, but I knew what I had to do after I lost that Contender Series fight, and that was just get back in the gym, grind, train day in, day out. Obviously, get on a little bit of a winning streak, or just get back into the cage as soon as I could, and I did that, and have the performances that I have. 1 minute with Casey Jones, 30 seconds with Jose Johnson. I wanted to really show, everyone that I wasn't playing, that I don't want to go to the deep waters. I didn't want to go to decision. I want to go on there, clean house, in, out, show everybody, I'm still on the map. I had a little setback Contender Series. I'd say it was definitely a fluke. So I'm here. I'm here to stay, and I'm a real game opponent, man.
I feel like with sports in general, and especially with mixed martial arts, I don't feel the mental side of the game gets talked about enough. And it's crucial to really perform at your best. Do you feel a difference as to where you're at now versus when you fought at Contender Series?
1,000%, yes, sir. Contender Series, there was the whole COVID pandemic, everything. So mentally, my mind was all over the place. It was like, man, I need to make it. Man, I'm in a panic. Is the world gonna end? Like certain things just crossing your mind, and you said it best. Like a lot of sports in general doesn't get respected enough for the mental side, and I feel like that has a big play in fighting, especially more maybe physically, but yeah, the mental side definitely does play a big factor. And I had to keep telling myself, reminding myself, I'm still one of the best. I've been training since I was 4 years old. This is destined for me. This has been my life, my plan A. never had a plan B, and I knew I was going to be able to do it. So definitely stayed mentally positive and just kept grinding and pushing forward.
It's great to hear. Let's talk about your boy Adrian. If I'm not mistaken, you were cage side in his corner on fight night, and I got to be honest, man. I interviewed him right after the fight, and I like the guy. I mean, I got to try and stay objective and not really root for anybody with my media role, but it's hard to do sometimes when you talk to some of these fighters like yourself and Adrian, who are just good guys. I was worried for him after that first round, man. It didn't go so well. What were you thinking? And did you believe that he was going to be able to turn it around and get the finish in impressive fashion the way he did?
Oh, 1,000%. I had faith. His brother and our other teammate were in our corner, and they kind of quiet down. I was like, let's just chill, guys. Adrian's good. He's gonna heat up. He's gonna warm up. Just got a slow start. Some fighters tend to have that. Adrian kind of had that night, but of course, once I seen the openings and he's seen the openings and started to take his angles and then move his hands more and mix up, the shots fell into place and he finished them. But yeah, it was scary at first for sure, but I know from the amount of times I've trained with him and the sparring rounds we had, he was good. I knew he had it all along. And second, third round, he was just gonna take over, figure out his timing, and finish him the way he did.
How good can he be? Do you anticipate him on holding a gold belt someday down the line?
Oh, for sure, 1,000%. Him as well as myself will definitely be in title contentions down the road. Him probably earlier than me. Obviously, he's got a 3-fight head start on me, so yeah, his opportunity might come quicker or faster than mine's, but I can definitely see him as well as myself within the next 3 to 5 years, taking over the division and being the best.
Tell me how camp has been for you thus far, and how active has Adrian been? I guess maybe before the fight, because I'm sure he hasn't been doing much post that Costa fight. So what has this camp been like, all in all?
Oh, he's been nonstop leading up to the fight. He was training as well as myself, and yeah, obviously he got busted up a little bit after this last fight, so he took a week off. But last week I got some sparring in with him, rest and everything like that. So he's back in there with no surprise, and it's been a great camp overall. I've got a bunch of young, hungry guys around me, pushing me day in, day out, getting my strength and conditioning in, and taking care of my body as best as I can. And I feel great, man. I know going to Vegas with Adrian had gave me a little bit more motivation and the extra push and drive to get through these final few weeks of camp. And then me going to the fights tonight and seeing it live is gonna even amp me up even more and get me through this weight cut, everything. And by the time I know it, I'll be in there and I'll be ready to perform and shine, man.
Yeah, definitely can't wait to see you make your Octagon debut. Now, we're 2 weeks away from your actual debut fight here for the UFC. What's the weight at right now? Is it right where it usually would be?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's right where it needs to be. Usually is. Now that I go to Vegas a week earlier, I tend to drop down a few pounds more here. That way, if something happens on the flight or I don't know, how some of that weight adjustment can work sometimes, or the elevation in Vegas. I'll be a few pounds lighter in Vegas already, so that way I'll have a little bit more of a smoother cut. Contender Series, I remember clear as day. That was probably one of my easiest cuts. That hotel extra room they gave us, I had a nice, good, solid few pad sessions in there, and the weight was just coming off easy. So I'm planning on doing the same this next cut.
And let's talk about your opponent, Jesse Strader. He's 5-2. He's coming off a round 1 loss to Montel Jackson. How do you like this matchup for yourself? What do you know about Strader?
I like it. I was watching his fight with Montel and looked like he had the game plan of going in there and chopping Montel down with leg kicks, and until Montel caught him and finished him, was the game plan went out the door. So I'll probably expect the same from him. Most likely he'll definitely try to shoot in on me. I'll definitely be surprised if he tries to stand, but if he does, let's do it. I'm more than game for that. he cares to go to the ground, let's do that as well. But tough guy overall. Know he'll be hungry for his first UFC victory, but I myself will as well. So may the best man win, and I've been training hard. I've been grinding, and I definitely plan on leaving with my hand raised.
And you've been finishing people with the quickness lately, man. It's been lickety split, in and out, no real damage at all. Are you predicting another round one finish for yourself?
I could definitely see it. I could possibly see it. And I know there's a lot of critics and, oh man, he can't make it past the first round, or how's his cardio going to look in the second and the third? My cardio is going to look amazing. I'm going to look in great shape. I do my strength and conditioning every day, run my miles. So if it does happen to get into deep waters, it'll be able to let me show a little bit more of my skill set as well. Only see me for 60 seconds, 30 seconds in the ring is like, yo, what does this kid have, or what is this guy doing? You don't really get to see much of me. So if we do happen to go later into the rounds, you guys will get to see more of my skill set. But unfortunately, I plan on doing like I do every fight: get in, get out, cash in, cash out. So if it's a first round finish, which I'm planning and hoping it is, let's do it. If it's second, third, let's do it as well. But I'm definitely going in there to finish and win.
Are you trying to get another fight after this one before the year's out, or are you hoping to maybe take a little time off, get a full camp in? Like, what's your mindset as far as what is next?
Yes, sir. Don't get me wrong. I'm not looking past this fight at all. But I've already told myself if I do come out injury free and, God willing, victorious, I do plan on coming back by Halloween, October sometime. If I can fight twice, 2 more times before the end of this year, but definitely another one before the end of this year if I come out injury free. That's, God willing, if I make it out that. And of course not looking past this fight. So we're focused on 2 weeks, and then after that we'll look towards Halloween or whenever that may be.
Very good, man. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you. Leomano Martinez will make his UFC debut on August 21st against Jesse Strader. Before I let you go, man, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter at Manaboi7. Thank you, of course, to everybody who's been supporting me, and thank you, Ryan, for pronouncing my name right. A few other of these guys say Mana, or they mispronounce it. You said my whole name proper, correct. So shout out to you, appreciate you, and always a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for sharing time with me.